I'm just gonna say, this isn't my talk yet, so I'm just gonna, but when Hector said to come up here and to like really take in the moment, I was so excited because one of my favorite things to do throughout training was like during a break, I would just like go to a corner and just like watch all of you. I would just look at the way that you all were interacting with each other, the way that you were speaking, the way it was like just so tender and sweet. And over those 10 weeks, I started to see angels. And just like how lucky I was to see that beauty. And how lucky I am to be in front of a group of angels again. Thank you. Ow. Okay, now I'm really sorry. Okay. Have you ever encountered those people in your life whose exuberance and joy moves your heart? The ones who grace this earth, touching and inspiring those around them. The ones who seem as though they have touched magic. What if I told you that happiness was a practice state of mind? That the ability to see everyone and everything as an ocean of infinite potential lay dormant within? I turned 28 on January 28th of this year, and I told myself it was going to be my biggest year yet. But on that day, I was living in a city with 8.5 million people, endless opportunities to build community, friends and family nearby. And yet I was lonely. And New York City was the problem. And you see, if you looked at my life from the outside looking in, you would have thought that I was incredibly happy. I had an amazing job working for a company with an impactful mission. I lived in a cute apartment with a cute kitty and a beautiful, amazing partner. Friends and family who loved me, nieces and nephews who looked up to me. Adventures abroad and adventures in the wild. And in a lot of ways, I was happy. But there was this constant, incessant, nagging voice in my mind that kept telling me that it wasn't enough. That I was always striving for the next thing, the next list of accomplishments, the next set of experiences, the next group of friendships, the next city to live in, the next trip on psychedelics was going to be the thing that finally made me feel fulfilled. It was all of the things outside of me that I needed more of in order to be happy. It was exhausting. I had built this beautiful, incredible life for myself in which, yes, I found happiness, but it felt fleeting, like a thirst that could never be quenched. Raise your hand if you can relate to this feeling, to this idea that there's a list of accomplishments, a list of experiences that you need to fulfill in order to be happy, only to realize that that happiness wasn't everlasting. On May 5th of this year, I saw an ad for this fun little party that said to come dressed as your enlightened self. And I thought, I have a cute hat I can wear today. And it was this event around raising money for scholarships and memberships and awareness around this thing called meditation. You guys may have heard of it. And I had been practicing for a couple of years, and I thought that maybe I could meet some cool people there. Little did I know how much my life would change on that day. Later that week, I truly began to learn about the power of our minds to shift and transform our inner worlds, that I could be an active participant in my reality, that I didn't need to lead a life that was dictated by my insatiable desire to fulfill my wants and needs, That I could live a life in every moment that was full of love and joy if I chose to practice it and inspire others to do the same. That by sitting on a cushion and envisioning a perfect world where everyone, including myself, was free of this infinite grasping, free of this idea that it was all of the things outside of me that I needed more of in order to be happy. Envisioning a world where everyone could love themselves exactly the way they were, without expectation. And so I did that. I sat and I sat and I sat and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced until I started to see it for myself. New York City wasn't the problem. My job wasn't the problem. My friends weren't the problem. It was me. The way I was looking at my life and the way I was looking at the world was the problem. Meditation lit my heart on fire. I had touched some of the magic. And slowly but surely, it started to seep into every corner of my life. I stopped feeling like I was always chasing after something. I gave myself the space to be proud of my accomplishments, to step into the love and joy that I had touched so many times in my life but could never fully grasp onto, to be the fountain of outpouring love that I felt so deeply in my heart. I still live in New York City. I still have the same job. I still have the same partner. I have some new, unbelievable, incredible friendships. But for the most part, things are the same. It was me that changed. I had transformed the self to transform the world. My world. And so, yeah, 28 has been my biggest year yet. But not for any of the reasons that I thought it was going to be. This me that has changed sees so deeply the power of what it is to carry ourselves with love and compassion. The ripple effect that choosing to be the one that takes full ownership of their reality has on our relationships and our communities. The impact that choosing to be the one that ends the cycle of suffering has on our world. And I see that same power in each and every one of you. A group of individuals who has the ability to shift and transform their inner worlds, to touch and inspire everyone that they interact with, to change the very fabric of our society. Thank you.